What is going on, gamers? Welcome to my first installment of my one-day build series. I'm going to be grabbing anything from games, movies, TV shows, even original ideas that you guys might come up with, and creating them in my little prop shop here. Check out my freaking awesome furnace that I made yesterday out of my nano leaf lights. Now I have a furnace. I'm going to cover this whole thing in fake bricks, and we're faking everything. Today's video, though, I'm going to show you guys how I made this. This is a Bratburst from the game Grounded. A lot of you might know of it. And I went into this thinking I could wrap a styrofoam ball in cloth and put a fuse on it, and that was going to be it. But little did I know that this turned into an all-day project, and it is no longer made out of cloth. It is my first ever styrofoam ball, or not styrofoam, but foam ball, essentially. But I'm going to walk you through everything I did to get to this point, as well as the trials and tribulations, because like I said, this was not easy. Do me a favor as well. If you enjoy my content and you like my content, I would like to offer you the chance to get a free trinket badge from the game Grounded as well. So I've got a bunch of these, and I'm willing to give them to 5 people that comment, like the video, and are subscribed. 5 people that comment down below, foam smithing is awesome. Because it is. It's freaking good. Like, look what I made, dude. Look what I made. Look what I made. Look what I made. It's over there. You can't see it, but look at all this stuff. It's fun. I'm having so much fun. But let's go ahead and get into it. One day builds, episode 1, the Bratburst. Let's go. Alright, well, here goes the list of things I thought I was going to be using for this build originally. We've got the weldwood glue, the X-Acto knife there. Go pick you up a bottle, one of those bottles if you're using that weldwood glue from Dollar Tree. Very awesome way to use it. Here's the craft foam. So that's the stuff I picked up from Walmart there. And here are the flour sacks that I was going to wrap the balls in and, you know, make this a quick, fast, in a hurry type of thing. And I was going to use that dowel there to kind of make the indent that is on the standard Bratburst. And also I was going to use this camouflage paint, but I ended up not using it. So yeah, I recorded the whole materials part for no reason whatsoever. Oh yeah, and the rope, which I did end up using. So the first attempt was essentially me using this dowel rod to kind of make that indentation there, because I really wanted to try and capture that as much as I could. You know, in the final result here, I didn't really accomplish that too much, but if I do it again, I have kind of a different idea, so to kind of get that little slit in there. But yep, this was the part where I was using the dowel. So here's me trying to decide and figure out how the heck I'm going to wrap this cloth around here without there being a bunch of creases in it. And I'm not going to bore you guys too much with this whole failed attempt thing, but we'll go ahead and fast forward to the part where I realized I needed to change my mind. So yeah, I had glue going through the bottom of this thing. I literally was just like, no, this is not going to work. It is time to try something else. So I actually tried one more thing before I ended up doing what my finalized attempt was. Secondary attempt was essentially a 1 millimeter thick piece of foam, crafting foam here. I tried a bunch of different ways to mold it into kind of a sphere. I tried it on my knee. I tried it with that little black candle right there you see on my desk. I tried it with the paint can, and then I ended up grabbing this old dirty kettlebell, trying to use the weight to hopefully try and stretch it into a spherical shape, which ended up kind of working a little bit, but it still was not going to be good enough. This was, you know, trying to come up with a way to make a circle out of 2D shapes is quite a pain, but I did figure it out. So I took to the internet looking for a sphere 2D template recreation thing. And you can see here I'm putting in different segments so that I get a nice like teardrop shape, turning it into a template, and I moved it over to Illustrator. So I knew at this point it was going to make the sphere. I did a test print and cut and just made sure that it looked like it was going to work. And from what I could tell, it was. So I added this little tab to the top of it, and that was what essentially became the throat of the Bratburst on the top piece. And yeah, I duplicated all these, printed them out, and got to cutting. Alright, here I am working my scissor magic. You can see that I've got one there pinned to that styrofoam ball, just to kind of check and make sure that this whole idea is actually going to work. I think I did end up printing out 8, which I did do 8 segments on that template. So I'll show you what that looks like once they're all on there. Alright, so you can see right here that I have all of the pieces attached to the sphere. So I know that it makes a sphere, but if you can tell, there's just a little bit of a gap. So I was just kind of doing my research. I had measured the actual sphere, making sure it was the correct size, making sure my template was good, spinning and twisting all the pieces in Illustrator to make sure that they're going to work. But yeah, now's the part where I'm starting to transfer it all to what I'm calling banana foam. we needed exactly 8 pieces, so I was able to split that between these 2 pieces of yellow banana foam here. And then we cut them out and get them ready. Here I'm actually taking some of that weldwood adhesive and applying it to the edges. Now this foam is very thin. It is only 1 millimeter thick, which allows for, you know, lots of bending and lots of shaping, so it lets me do kind of anything I want to. But it does have kind of a flimsy factor to it as well. So I want to make sure that these seams are perfectly perfect. And I definitely took my time with these seams, and I really do not regret, you know, spending a lot of time on it. Alright, now that we've got it all glued together, it's nice and solid. I attempted to strangulate it by tying a knot around, just trying to see if I could get that indentation, which essentially ended in kind of a failed experiment. But that's okay. We didn't need it anyway. Here I'm actually taking my pencil, and I'm going to start threading just the sheath of this little, you know, paracord rope here. End up tossing the rope to the side and just using the sheath to kind of tie the neck together. There you go. As you can see here, we got the neck all nice and tied together. And now it's time to fold over the tabs. So for this part, I just pretty much put glue on both sides and made sure it touched itself. And now we have like a banana flask, which is pretty cool, really. We cool here. We could just stop right here. Drinkable container, you know, it's watertight. And yeah, I mean, I'd hydrate out of it for sure. Banana flavored. At this point here, I kind of came up with an idea for almost like a point of attachment for the main fuse to pretty much, so I took 3 circles and I glued them all together, and then I poked a hole in the middle of it and used that as kind of a point of attachment for the inside of the throat there on the actual Bratburst itself. And here you can see my little yellow ring and me stuffing this thing full of fuse, yeah. Full of fuse, stuffing the banana flask with fuses. Get that sucker down in there and she's stuck for good. And here's the fat bearded lazy fella that sweats accidentally 24/7 taking screenshots for my Discord to yeah show them what I got going on. Alrighty, we then took it outside to Plastidip it, and I realized that, hey, I could probably fill those cracks in a little bit there where we glued them in, although there really wasn't too much seams going on. I just felt like, why not get a little bit more practice in with the quick seal here. But yeah, just pretty much covered all 8 cracks all along the walls here, and then I took some water on the tip of my finger and just kind of smoothed it all out and got it ready for another coat of Plastidip, couple coats actually. I think I did 5 coats total on this thing. And now it's time for an epic speed painting montage. Blah, 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 little green lines, little green lines. Oh, and there we go. That is the finished product. I think it turned out pretty good. I really like it a lot. Actually, like a lot. A lot of work went into this. About 6 hours from start to finish there with all the trial and error. I think I probably could have got it done too once I realized what I was doing and came up with a good plan. So now I know. It's a learning process every day. So you guys stay classy, San Diego, and I'll see you on the next one.